Here we are back at the pond. It's been a lot of weeks now. It's been quite a few weeks since we lost that last bass, the one with the growth on its eye. That was our second fish that we lost this year coming out of the spring. And I'm almost ready to chalk it up to just maybe being stressed from the transporting, different lakes, different water chemistry. I pump a lot of rainwater in here off of our roof system, trying to keep it off the ground, just going straight into the pond on a plastic pipe, so it's never mixing with the ground, it's never getting any organic matter, any organic material. I thought I was smart, but just curious on a hard rain, if I'm pumping so much rainwater into this pond, does it potentially change the water chemistry? Is that something that's maybe causing the fish an issue? So I'm going to test the rainwater coming out of the pipe, I'm going to test the pond water, and I'm also going to test the river water to see what our pH is at, see what our nitrates are at, our nitrites, all that, and just get a really good look here at what we have going into the pond and what we have sitting in the pond for water quality. Here's my little waterfall. That is all clean, fresh rainwater off the roof, hitting the eaves trough, coming into the pond. I thought I was a genius doing this. It was a lot of work for me. It works great because it keeps it off the ground, but I'm hoping it's not the problem. I had a lot of trouble with erosion and runoff going into the pond in those early years. If you watch those videos, the pond was really gross looking. It was brown, it was green, it was every color, but clear. Since then, I've built this kind of half wall, this little berm around the entire pond. So when it rains, it collects here and runs all the way down around that pond, and there's a drain way over at the far end of the pond. You can barely see it, and that drains it to a low spot. So here's where all the water comes to, and there's actually a drain there. There's a pretty big drain. This is a lot of rain. It's holding up. I've got a little bit of a berm this way to make sure it doesn't go into the pond. You can see the color of that water there, and then the pond is really nice and clear. This is by far the best thing I ever did for the pond, is keep that water up high, get it into the drain, pump it over to a low area. If you have water quality issues, it's more than likely surface water getting into your pond. Rainwater sample, 5 milliliters of rainwater, and then I'll go way down here and grab some pond water away from the waterfall. So there we are, we got rainwater here and pond water. You can see just a slight blue tinge in that pond water from the pond eye. But all in all, really nice clear water we've had this year. I grabbed this freshwater test kit for ponds and aquariums off of Amazon. It gives you a lot of material here. You can do multiple water tests with it. So to test the pH, all we have to do is add 3 drops of this into our tube. First one, rainwater from the pipe. 1, 2, 3, shake it. Now, same thing for the pond water. 1, 2, 3, well, that's a different color already. Shake that up. So they do supply you with this chart, and all you do is go by color. There's 6 pH and then way up to 8.8. So we're in the dark area already, so we're gonna have a high pH in this pond. This is our rainwater solution, and that pH is low. I'd say we're a little bit over 6, maybe 6.2. So the drops I put in only go to 7.6 on this chart, but they have high range solution which goes up to 8.8. I might, just for fun, I have another pond water here. I'm going to try that and see how high we actually get on this pond. The pH level in our pond is probably 8 to 8.2. In this area we do have high pH in our waters. It's just a natural thing with the limestone. You can see the limestone everywhere around the outside. That came off this property. I'm going to test the river, which is just 50 yards over the hill. I'm going to guess we have the same pH level, which isn't an issue. That's very normal to have around an 8 in this area in the lakes and rivers. I'm just not sure with that rainwater going in with a low pH on high storms and high volume, does that cause an issue? So they also give you the option of nitrites and nitrates, and you don't want high amount of either in your water or it could be toxic. So we'll give that a test right now on the pond. So we'll do a nitrate test first. You'll have high nitrate in your water. It's like organic matter breakdown and fish waste. You get too much fish waste in that, you will have high nitrates. So we'll give that a test right now and then wait 5 minutes for the color to develop. So while we wait for that, we will test for nitrites. Nitrites for aquariums, you know, if you have too much uneaten food, too many fish with fish waste, again, you're going to have high nitrite colors. In a pond setting like this, it's probably similar to the nitrates with the plant material, weeds, all that stuff not breaking down, causing, gases and poor water quality. So we'll see what this comes back at. So we've left them both now for 5 minutes. We'll take our color chart So for nitrates, we're on this column here, very yellow. I think we're basically 0 parts per million, so that is good news. Water's clean. Orange starts to get to 5 parts per million, so we're pretty much 0 parts per million. So onto the nitrite column, and that's this one right here, and you want to be the light blue, and that's exactly what we are on the color chart. 0 parts per million nitrite. So we're scoring 2 really good scores here, 0 parts per million on anything that could be a problem. It's just that pH. Is there something going on there? Since I'm soaked and freezing already, I think I'm gonna go over to the river. We'll take a tube of water and we'll test the pH in the river, because I know if that's high like our pond, we'll compare it. There's great fishing in the river. That's a totally healthy water body, so that'll make me feel better. It also is the limestone and the sand mix, so we'll see what that pH comes in at, and we can put that to rest. Here's the river very close by. Try to get close here where I don't get soaked. What a day. I should have did this on a lighter rain. All right, river water, high range solution, 5 drops. So on the high range pH chart, we are very similar, probably 7.8. So we're 8.2 maybe in the pond, 7.8 in the natural river setting. So kind of happy with that. There's a ton of fish in this river, very healthy population. So I think we're okay with the high pH. It's just normal for my area. I took those water tests and shot that video last summer, so I've had a lot of time to sit and watch the pond, watch the fish react, and I'm happy to say I've lost no more fish. I did the same thing this spring. As soon as the ice came off, turned the aerator on, didn't have an issue there. Some comments last year in the video when we lost those 2 bass thought maybe it was the aerator under the ice, too early, too late. I don't think it was any of that. I really think it was those larger fish moving them to a new pond. I think they're just under so much stress. They've lived their whole life in a larger pond or a larger lake, and then they come here. It's a different water quality, different chemistry, smaller pond, and I think that was really the big issue. I've seen 5 of our 6 tagged bass this year already, so I'm pretty sure that 6th one's out there. It's just a big enough pond that I can't see all the fish all the time. Water quality is terrible. This is the worst it's been. I know I get a little bit of heat in the comment sections because I like to have clear pond water, almost aquarium-like, and then I feed more bait, and I just like to see the fish. Where most ponds you see, the big ponds on YouTube, they fertilize their pond. They wanted that dirty algae growth to feed all of that ecosystem and the bait fish. This year I have that accidentally. You can see quite a bit of algae down there. That is from this property. You can kind of see here. I turned this place into a golf course. I've been trying to push this turf grass. Really in my head, I just wanted to always have, obviously a lawn out here for the kids to play at. Maybe went a little over the top, did a golf course, but I've been pushing that turf grass to fill in with by using fertilizer, and that has been an issue because last fall I got it going, fertilized in this spring with the snow runoff. A lot of that fertilizer ended up in this pond. I have that drain over there that we talked about earlier in the video. It just cannot handle all that snow melt all the time. So this is rather new to me. We'll see how long this fertilized water lasts. Will I get clear water again here this summer, or do I have just too much nutrients in there to get it cleared up? Either way, the fish look happy. The bass are getting super tame. I didn't really work a lot one-on-one last year with these fish because you could kind of see me doing landscaping here like crazy. But coming out of the spring when the ice came off, these fish are very tame this year. I've got 4 or 5 of them that just almost follow me around. I can hand feed them. So I'll continue to grow that. I'm pretty sure they spawned last year. Didn't have any time to get any proof of that, but we're into the season now where the water's warming up, and we'll see this year if they'll spawn. I think I'll be able to get a visual, some proof of that. I have a little bit more time. So thanks for watching this one. I think our pond quality water is okay. Everything looks good here. We're healthy. No more dead fish. So we'll work this summer to improve the place here.